Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning, students. Welcome to our module 2 topic of our subject, the basic occupational safety and health. Okay, so I received all those who answer in our previous task assessment. So I received in the form, no, your answer through your email. I know also who are those answer, and then uh, I will give you some feedbacks after, no? So if ever there is a what we call this an assignment or a task that will given to you, no? So instruction also are posted in our FB group. So you can also give your comments in the chat box in our FB groups, and then so that everybody also could know what are those concerns, and I can answer also it by the group chat, or no, not by the group chat but our FB group. I did not prepare a group chat because in group chats uh, very no, we cannot immediately identify concerns because of so many posted, no, messages coming from the different students. So I prepare in the Facebook in our Facebook group, because every time that you will give comment, I can read it, and if ever I will give an answers or a comment, you can also read my comments in the chat box. And then much better if you submit all your requirements, especially those who are partial or fully online. Submit it through my email that I gave to you every time that I give to you in the link, no? So because so that we can have also a data privacy. Your answers will be recorded, no? Cannot be missed because it is there already in my email. So sometimes you submit your task assignment in the, no, in my message, no, messenger. So there are so many friends, no, I have, no, people encounter, so maybe I may miss your name to put in a record, no. That is why much better if you use our group to avenue for your comment, and also for my mail for submitting all of your requirements. So that's it, no. It's very good if we can do, if we will use that type of platform as of this moment. So sometimes also I will post a link for our virtual discussion, but as of now I prefer to present to you a recorded video about our topic, so that everybody could have a chance to watch this video, and also they can download if they have load, and they can review, no, or revisit this discussion. If I will use live, you can also give your comment in our chat box, no, in our specific group, and then you can also uh, ask questions or whatsoever, and then after after that I can read all your questions also there, and I will also answer all your concerns. Okay, so and then every Thursday, please prepare yourself available, no, especially your phone, because if I will uh, post that I will I will give, or I will have, or I will conduct an oral recitation through a phone calls, uh, at least you are prepared. So anyway, my recitation is only focus those subject, those topic that we are already discussed previously. Okay? So now we will proceed to our module 2. Maybe you will be no maybe uh, something like amazed or medyo ano kayo, no, yung medyo nalilito kasi bakit yung sa akin module 2 pa, yung iba module 3 na. Kasi yung module 1, no, ah, I incorporate that in the I did not include the orientation period. So supposedly our module 1 is the orientation, second is our module 1, that is all that should be in module 2, and this time module 2 should be module 3, but I use module 1 and module 2. Okay, today we are discussing about module 2 subject, but before we will discuss this OS legislation or global figures of the occupational safety and health, let us first discuss about the managing safely. For you to be able to understand what would really, no, what is or what would really be the significance of safety in our uh, life, no, especially that you are dreaming or aiming to become a businessman someday. Okay? So that's it. So as you can see there, my contact number and my contact number, you can call me if you have some queries, and then please save that number so that anytime that I will call you, you will be alert, you will be notified that this number is of mine. Okay? So let's proceed to managing safely. Okay? Managing safely. Why is it important for us to manage safely? Okay? Uh, have you think that? Okay? So why is it important to manage safely? Okay? Think of it. Think about a serious accident happening in your organization. So if you are belong in a certain organization and then there is an accident happening, what would it mean to you and your organization? Okay? Especially that someday you will become a businessman. Maybe you will build your own business. No, you have your own employees, yeah, right? Personnel and staff in your establishment, or you are only a member of that certain organization, establishment, or industry where you are working also. So think about if there are of the or if there is a serious accident happening in your organization, then what would it mean to you and your organization? And then think about the injured workers, their personal cost, no, pain and suffering, and the effect on their colleagues, no, friends and families. Workers may have long hospital stays and may never work again. Okay? So think about that, no? Kung mayroong aksidente, malaking aksidente nangyari sa isang organisasyon na doon ka, no, you are belong, and then what will happen to that workers? Maybe hindi na siya makapagtrabaho ulit. And then paano na yung kanyang sarili? Lalo na kung naputulan siya ng kamay, naputulan ng paa, okay, nabuhay pa, or kung hindi man ay namatay. Ang mga gastusin sa ospital, no? Paano 'yun? Yung kanyang nararamdamang sakit, 'no, at mga daing dahil sa, natamasang pinsala, 'no, sa katawan, 'no. Ano ang impact nito sa kaniyang mga kasamahan, lalo na sa kaniyang pamilya? Halimbawa, ikaw ngayon yung inatasan ng kumpanya na pupunta doon sa pamilya ng na-injured na, ah, kasapi sa inyong kumpanya. Paano mo sasabihin sa kaniyang pamilya ang nangyari? Lalo na kung patay, 'di ba? And then, sa pamilya, ano yung epekto nito at present situation? There would be a psychological effect, 'no, emotional distress, and ano pa, future, yung future situation, paano mangyari? Lalo na kung ang isang worker na kasapi ay merong ay siya lang ang inaasahan sa pamilya para para pagkukunan ng gastusin sa bahay. Halimbawa meron siyang anak na nag-aaral, 'no? Sana ngayon, ano na mangyari? So, that is why you need to think the important of safe or managing safely in the organization, okay? So, if it's shown that the accident happened because of a failure to manage health and safety risk in the organization, the regulator may take action, 'no? Ang kinaukulan, 'di ba? Kung nakita dito o nakita diyan sa pangyayari na aksidente ay may kakulangan sa management, 'no, ng isang kumpanya. So, sila ay tutugisin ng otoridad, 'no, authority. Dito sa Pilipinas, yung OSH natin, 'no, Philippines Occupational Safety and Health na batas, meron diyan. Tutugisin sila. And then, ang mangyari, 'no, which in turn may lead to prosecution, 'no, sasampahan sila ng kaso o magmumulta sila or maaari pang ma-imprison, 'no. 'Yan ang mangyayari, okey? So, kaya, ah, pag-isipan natin ng mabuti, 'no, we think it deeply. Why is it important that we need to manage safely, especially if we are in the workplace or working area or in the organization, 'no? Paano? So, ano kaya ang magiging epekto, 'no? And what are those reasons why we need to manage safely? So, nauna tinitingnan natin diyan according to IOS, 'no, in IOCI, Institutional Occupational Safety and Health, Managing Safely, there are three reasons why we need to save or why we need managing or manage safely at the organization. First is the moral reason. Why is it moral? No, moral. Moral because it is not acceptable that the employer, no, employ their employees under risk, no, or yun bang hindi siya kaaya at hindi katanggap-tanggap na pinapatrabaho mo ang isang tao na nasa panganib ang kanyang buhay, risk, 'no? So, hindi 'yan. no, moral. And then, pangalawang rason or the second reason is all about the legal aspect or the legal reasons, no? So, kung may mangyaring masama doon sa nagtatrabaho sa iyong kumpanya, kung ikaw ang may-ari mismo or ikaw ang nagma-manage nito, so siguradong mahaharap ka sa kaso, no? Mayroong mga legal, implications. Maaari kang isumbong, magmulta ka, at kung puwede, mapunta ka pa sa kulungan, no? Yan yung mga reason. At dahil yung dahil din yung pangatlong reason diyan ay yung sinabi ng ayos, ay yung financial. Of course, 'pag mayroong injury, mayroong aksidente, iyon yung sinabi natin kanina, no, the cost, no, yung sa pagpa-hospital, no? Kung namatay lalo na, paano na yung source of living ng kanilang family, no? How can you provide? Meron ba siyang insurance na binayaran? Na kung wala, doon ka naman babalik sa legal, no? Maaari kang isumbong. Tapos kung ikaw yung may-ari ng isang, establisimento, no, o isang organisasyon at nangyari yung aksidente, no, malaking aksidente, alam naman natin ang social media ay grabe yung impluwensya. So ngayon, what will happen 'pag media? So paano, ano mangyayari ng iyong kumpanya? Meron pa kayang mga tao na magtitiwala sa inyong produkto, 'di ba? So nasira yung moralidad natin, oh, our morality destroy, damage, and it also cost a lot of money, no, financial, and the legal authorities will also, make actions against you or to those who are, ah, no, yung sino yung may-ari ng isang kumpanya or sa isang organisasyon. So 'di ba malaki yung problema. Kaya dapat pagtuunan natin ng pansin itong pag-aaral ng safety, lalo na yung pagma-manage, no, ng safety. So as we know that safety is a condition or a state of being free from any risk or danger, no? Yan. At saka na-define na rin natin sa nung una nating discussion yung hazard, yung anything that has potential cause harm, that is hazard. And then risk, okay, or a state or condition of being in danger. Okay? So at least we know that definition. Okay, so now let's proceed to our very own topic this module 2. Okay? We will try to check the status of the global, uh, status of, safety, no, occupational safety and health, no, what are the latest or, at least meron tayong idea kung ano na yung mga pangyayari doon sa labas ng ating bansa at dito sa loob ng bansa. According naman sa mga legitimate na mga, sources na nakalap natin dito sa ating pag-aaral ng occupational safety and health. So the global OS figure, no, according to the International Labour Organization or ILO, Safe Work Introductory Report in 2008 showed that close to 50% of work-related deaths occurs in Asia. So imagine 50% work-related deaths, okay, in Asia. And then in developing countries, fatality rates 5 to 6 times higher than industrialized nation, and in developing countries, where every year around 170,000 agricultural workers and 320,000 people die from exposure to biological risk such as viral, bacterial, insect, or animal related risk. So yan, no, yun yung sinabi ng ILO, yung tinatawag natin na International Labor Organization. So the latest ILO figures reveal that every 15 seconds, 160 workers have work-related accident. So imagine, every 15 seconds, there were 160 workers work-related accident. And then every 15 seconds, a worker dies from a work-related accident or disease. So in every 15 seconds, mayroong namamatay. Okay? So accordingly, every day, 6,300 people die as a result of occupational accident or work-related disease. Okay? Yan, yung mga nangyayari, no? Yung mga work-related. So sa trabaho nangyayari, occupational accident, mayroong namamatay, 6,300 people die. And then more than 2.3 million death per year. Dami, no? Over 337 million accident occur in the job annually. And many of this resulting in extended absences from work. So hindi lang mayroong namamatay, mayroon pang mga nag-a-absent sa trabaho dahil sa mga aksidenteng ito, no? The human cost of this daily adversity is vast, and the economic burden of for occupational safety and health practices is estimated at 4% of global gross domestic product each year. So ang laki, no? 4% lang yung tinatawag nating poor, no? Burden of poor occupational safety and health practices. So wala pa masyado nagte-training, nagpa-practice ng occupational safety. So under the Philippine Labor, no, OS statistics, according to the July 2011, no, matagal-tagal na to, current labor statistic of the DOLE or Bureau of Labor and Employment Statistics, there are 8 million OFWs with 1.47 million deployed in 2010. So, tingnan natin, no, 1.47 million, no, ang nagtatrabaho abroad. Of the OFW deployed in 2010, 1,123,676 are land-based and 347,150 are sea-based. Pag sinabing land-based, yan yung nagtatrabaho sa abroad na doon lang namasukan yung mga construction workers, yung mga nurse na nandoon lang sa mga ano, no, mga hospitals, yung ano, yung mga kasambahay. Pero ito yung mga ano, yung mga sea-based, yan yung mga nautical, oh, nagtatrabaho doon sa mga barko. Okay. After knowing this statistic, the question that comes to mind is how many Filipino workers are protected from accident and illnesses while they work. So sa dami nila, yan yung tanong ngayon. Okay? Ilan kaya sa kanila, sa mga Filipino workers, ang protektado, no, sa mga sakit at aksidente sa kanilang pinagtatrabahuan? Okay, so yan yung ano natin dito, no, tinatalakay natin, tinutukoy. So that a total of 44,800 occupational accident occurred in 4,600 non-agricultural establishment employing 20 or more workers in 2007, a figure lower by 14.7% than the 52,515 accident that affected 4,824 establishment in 2003. Occupational injuries resulting from workplace accident declined by 20.7% from 58 to 42,720 in 2003 to 46,570 in 2007. Kasi meron ng nag-aaral ng mga ano dito, yung mga sa occupational safety and health kaya medyo bumaba ang rate ng mga aksidente. Pero only 20%, so malaki pa rin, 'di ba? Kung titingnan natin yung figure. Cases that required absences from work stood at 23,265 in 2003 and 20,386 in 2007. So lumiit naman, no? 20% ng 20% or a reduction of 12.4% rather, okay? Almost all cases with workdays lost in 2007 were temporary disabilities, no? 20,109, and then this is the 12%, 12.4% lower than the caseload of 22,094 in 2003. So ang pinagkukunan natin ng details dito ng statistic ay yung sa year 2003 at saka 2007. Sa 2003, malaki-laki siya pero medyo bumaba siya dito sa 2007. Kasi nga doon na medyo nag-umpisa na ang Pilipinas sa patupad ng tinatawag na occupational safety. Okay, so lalo na ngayon 'no, mayroong mga bagong mandatos lalo na yung pinirmahan ni Presidente Duterte na the full implementation of occupational safety and health in the Philippines. Kaya kung nakikita niyo diyan sa mga social media, marami na yung mga training ng Safety Officer 1, Safety Officer 2, merong BOS, meron ding, OS, 'yan 'no, marami na. Kasi 'yan nga, ini-implement na dito ngayon yung, pagpatupad ng safety and health sa mga kumpanya dito sa Pilipinas. So, fatalities decreased by 31.8% from 170 in 2003 to 116 in 2007. However, those permanently incapacitated increased by 23.7% from 131 in 2003. Okay? So, and then to 162 in 2007, no? Medyo ano din, medyo tumaas yung permanently incapacitated. So 'pag incapacitated, hindi na, ah, wala ng kakayahan para magtrabaho. So the largest caseload of injuries with work days lost in 2007 was recorded in manufacturing establishment at 61%, then 12,427, no? This industry also posted the biggest share at 61.9% 4 years earlier. The rest of the industries had lower shares ranging from 2% financial intermediation to 9.2% hotels and restaurant in 2007 and from 3%, 0.3% mining and quarrying to and then to 11.6% wholesale and retail trade in 2003. So you can read also all these figures and discussion in your uh, in the modules that I upload in your respective groups. Okay, so just open that, download and read, then you can see the figure also there. At least you have the knowledge, you have the clear idea what was really happening, no, about concerning occupational safety and health globally and in the Philippine settings. So relative to their specific industry, totals private education injury cases with work days lost had multiplied by as much as 3 times its 2003 level from 132 in 2003 to 436 in 2007. So work days lost, yung nawawalang mga araw dahil sa mga related, ah, no, mga sinasabi nating aksidente, 'no, sa mga nangyayari doon sa ating pinagtatrabahuan o sa pinagtatrabahuhan mismo. Other noticeable percentage increase were recorded in mining and quarrying. Kasi dito sa atin marami ang yung mga kumpanya na ang trabaho ay mining, yung quarrying, marami din sa agriculture, 'yan. Mayroon din doon sa mga industries 'no, manufacturing, 'yan. Mayroon din sa mga hotel and restaurants, 'yan. Kaya kung makikita niyo yung mga figure diyan, mayroong mga percentage kung ilan ang mga, statistics na na-decrease at saka kung ano yung mga nag-increase from 2003 to 2007, okey? So, at least makikita ninyo, at least you have a clear figure of, occupational safety and health, situation in the Philippines at that, in your module and in this our discussion. So here, for us to be enlightened, what was, um, what we call this, the definition of some terminologies being used in this, topic. So at least now we will discuss what are those, terminologies that we may encounter, especially here in the Philippines, because we are adapting or using the, uh, Philippine settings of occupational safety and health. Okay, because, in US, okay, the standard that we consider there, or the standard of safety, is under on the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or what we call OSHA. In UK also, they are adapting, or they are, under the umbrella of the Institutional Occupational Safety and Health Managing Safely. So that, two kinds of, uh, what we called, organization for safety administration or health and safety administration, although they have different, no, origin, but mostly similar, uh, similar in terms of, uh, in, health and safety operation, no, practices. Itong ayos, yung Institutional Occupational Safety and Health, ay kumuha lang ng idea doon galing sa, US, yung OSHA, or Occupational Safety and Health Administration. At ito namang Pilipinas ay gumagaya lang din, kumukuha lang din ng mga referensya galing din dun sa OSHA at saka sa Institutional Institutional Occupational Safety and Health, or IOS Managing Safely. Okay? So now, let us define what we call occupational accident. So when we see occupational accident, it is an unexpected and unplanned occurrence, including acts of violence arising out of or in connection with work, which result in one or more workers incurring a personal injury, disease, or death. Okay? It can occur outside the usual workplace premises of the establishment while the worker is on business on behalf of his or her employer. It's either in another establishment, or while on travel, transport, or in road traffic. So, anything that might, happen accidentally, no, unplanned, or whatsoever, in relation to your job, or to the job, or to the occupation, that is part of the occupational accident. So, ibig sabihin doon, lahat ng mga nangyayari, nagaganap na mga aksidente na may, relasyon doon sa trabaho, no? kahit ikaw ay nagta-travel 'no, pumupunta sa ibang mga establisimento dahil sa, utos ng isang kumpanya na ikaw yung inatasan na gumawa, under pa rin yun doon sa tinatawag na occupational accident. And the company, the organization has a liability of that situation or if that case or whatsoever. No, kung may nangyaring mga ganyan, so liable yung isang organisasyon or isang kumpanya. So how about what occupational injury? No, pag sinasabing occupational injury, it is an injury which result from a work-related event or a single instantaneous exposure in the work environment, no? Or occupational accident, where more than one person is injured in a single accident. Each case of occupational safety injury should be counted separately. If one person is injured in more than one occupational accident during the reference period, each case of injury to that person should be counted separately. Recurrent absences due to an injury resulting from a single occupational accident should be treated as the continuation of the same case of occupational injury, not as a new case. So pag sinabing mga injury dahil doon sa naganap na occupational accident or work related, no? Na hindi ka nakapagtrabaho, no? Dahil sa injuring natamo, kung ikaw ay isang tao lang, no, mayroong isang tao doon na hindi nakapagtrabaho, so ika-count 'yan. That will be recorded, no? In the, in the management, that would be recorded. And then kung mayroon ding nakapag-absent dahil sa pangyayaring 'yun, that should also be recorded. Kung mayroon ding na-injury do'n na tao, isa o dalawa, tatlo, that should also be recorded as long as it is part of the occupational accident. Yung injury na natamo ay dahil doon sa pinagtatrabahuan. Kaya lahat 'yan ire-record. Paano ngayon kung nagtatrabaho ka? Halimbawa, the question is, uh, you are on duty, okay? Supposedly you are on duty, but by that time you skip from your duty, you go outside without the permission from your management, doing something there outside of your organization or company, and then accident happen. So the question there is there any liability for the company, no, of the company to answers all the cost or expenses in relation to that accident, or that should be recorded, no, as part of the occupational accident, the injury that a person suffered during the accident? The answer there is definitely no, because that by going outside without the permission of your employer is not under the occupational or not work related activity. Okay? So remember that, maybe you will be asked that later in our assessment. So at least malaman nyo kung ano yung occupational accident, ano yung occupational injury, at ano yung mga dapat i-record. Okay? So how about this, what we call temporary incapacity? Kasi pag na-injury nga, pag mayroong injury nangyari, mayroong injury na tama dahil doon sa aksidente nangyari, so maaring hindi ka makapagtrabaho, no, ng ilang araw, 'di ba? Kaya tinatawag temporary incapacity. Pag temporary incapacity, yung temporaryong hindi ka muna makapasok o makapagtrabaho dahil sa nangyaring injury, no? So, case where an injured person was absent from work for at least one day, no? At least one day, excluding the day of the accident. So, hindi pa kasali doon yung day of accident. Yun lang nag-absent ka, no? And was able to perform again the normal duties of the job or position occupied at the time of the occupational accident, or will be able to perform the same job but his/her total absence from work is expected not to exceed a year starting the day after the accident, or did not return to the same job but the reason for changing the job is not related to his/her inability to perform the job at the time of the occupational accident. So, ibig sabihin nito, no, yung temporary incapacity, yung dahil na sa natamo mong injury, pagbalik mo dun sa trabaho, hindi na yung trabaho na dati mong ginagawa, ayun pa ring assignment na yung tinatrabaho mo, iba na. Ay halimbawa ngayon, ikaw yung taga for example, yung injury na natamo mo ay naputulan ka ng kamay. Ngayon ikaw yung record keeper, paano ka makapagsulat? So, nakabalik ka sa trabaho, pero hindi mo na magagampanan yung trabaho mo na tagapagsulat dun na bilang recorder kasi nga naputulan ka ng kamay, okey? So, that should be consider, no? Or yung sinabi dito will be able to perform the same, but his/her total absences from work is expected not to exceed a year starting the day after the accident. So, grabe ang haba, no? Nakabalik ka man pero, ano, yung muntik kang mag-isang taon bago ka pa makabalik sa trabaho. So, yung tinatawag nating injury na natamo natin, no, medyo ano, serious injury yung nangyari. And then number 3 dito yung tinatawag na did not return to the same job, but the reason for changing the job is not related to his/her inability to person from the job at the time of the occupational accident. Yun nga ang sinabi, no? Hinire ka diyan sa kumpanya na 'yan dahil sa trabaho na 'yan, pero nung naaksidente ka, nakabalik ka nga sa trabaho pero hindi mo na magagampanan yung dati mong trabaho kaya inassign ka na sa ibang trabaho. So, that is under on the temporary incapacity in relation to the occupational accident. Dahil din sa natamo mong occupational injury dahil sa aksidente. So, permanent incapacity, 'pag sinabing permanent, yung kanina temporary lang, maaari pa makapagbalik, ito permanent ay hindi na, lalo na kung namatay, 'no? O, tingnan natin dito, case where an injured person or injured ang tinutukoy, 'no, was absent from the work for at least 1 day, excluding the day of the accident and was never able to perform again the normal duties of the job or position occupied at the time of the occupational accident. So, dahil sa nangyaring aksidente, 'no, nakapag-absent ka ng 1 day at kung makabalik man ay hindi mo na ma-perform yung trabaho na pinapagawa sa'yo. O for example naman ngayon, ikaw yung tinatawag dun na for example, timekeeper. Yung timekeeper, mahalaga diyan yung mata. Paano kung sa pangyayari, 'no, nagaganap na aksidente ay nabulag ka, paano mo na magagampanan ngayon yung ano mo, yung, trabaho mo bilang timekeeper, okey? So, permanent incapacity na yun. Kasi yung bulag hindi na yan ano, 'no, hindi na maibalik yung paningin mo, okey? So, second is will be able to perform the same job but his/her total absence from work is expected to exceed a year starting the day after the accident. So, maaari, 'no, will be able to perform the same job pero expected na sa kanyang pagbabalik ay mahigit 1 taon pa bago siya makabalik. So, that is permanent, under permanent incapacity. Kung ikaw ngayon ang kumpanya, ikaw ngayon ang may-ari, yung tao na na-injury, Papabalikin mo ba, maghintay ka pa ng mahigit isang taon para magampanan yung trabaho, urgent yung trabaho, 'di ba? Ang mangyayari diyan magha-hire ka na lang ng bago, papalitan mo yung tao na yun. So yan, yung isa sa pinakamahirap, costly yan. Kaya yung sinabi natin kanina, tandaan natin palagi na yung kailangan natin importante yung managing safely in every organization kasi marami ang puwedeng mawawala. Mawawala ng oras, time, okey, lost, ah, 'pag mawalan ng time, oras 'no, kasi nag-absent nga, ano mga mawawala dun, pinansiyal, 'di ba? Magte-train ka pa ng tao, gagastos ka, 'di ba? Yung napinsala, na-injury, papagamot mo pa, o yan mag-hiring ka pa. So, mahirap, okey? So, how about this fatal case 'no? Fatal case, case where a person is fatally injured as a result of occupational accident, whether death occurs immediately after the accident or within the same reference year as the accident. So, yan ire-record din yan as fatal case 'pag mayroong nangyaring aksidente, serious at namatay yung tao dahil sa aksidenteng iyon, that is fall under the fatal case. That should be recorded as part of the occupational accident under the fatal case record. So, meron tayong tinatawag dito ng mga frequency rate, no? Ang frequency rate, if R, ito ay cases of occupational injuries with work days lost per 1,000,000 employee per hours of exposure. So, ang tawag diyan frequency rate, okey? Cases 'no, refer to cases of occupational injuries 'no, mayroong mga aksidenteng nangyari na nawawalan ng workday loss, ah, per 1,000,000 employee 'no, per hours. 'Pag sinasabing incident rate, incidence rate 'no, IR, refers to cases of occupational injuries with work days lost 'no, nawalan yung araw, bilang ng araw ng pagtatrabaho per 1,000 workers. Yung kanina 1,000,000 employees, dito naman sa incidence rate 1,000 workers. 'Pag sinasabing severity rate, SR, refers to work days lost of cases of occupational injuries resulting to temporary incapacity per 1,000,000 employee hours of exposure. Then the average work days lost refers to work days lost for every case of accident of occupational injury resulting to temporary incapacity. So that will fall under average work loss. Okay? So tandaan nyo yan kasi that is very much important kasi yan yung pinagbabasihan sa ating Philippine Occupational Safety and Health no laws na mga terminology about how many rates no incidents, frequency, severity and average working day lost per 1,000,000 per hour, per 1,000 per hour, no, per employees. Di bali parang ratio niya. So, inadequate number of trained OS personnel, ito, no, there has been an upsurge of occupational safety and health awareness worldwide, and companies both here and abroad required companies to hire, train, OS personnel, no? This has caused an exponential increase in the number of workers who have undergone and are waiting to avail of OS training. But because accidents continue to happen, more dedicated and trained personnel are needed. That is why also, being a safety professional, I I suggest to the Initaw College or to our institution that this safety and health uh, course must be integrated in our curriculum. Kasi nga, 'yan 'no, kailangan talaga natin yung safety awareness, yung training. So, sa atin naman, kahit tayo ngayon ay nasa academe 'no, we are, in the college level 'no, even kahit yung mga nag-aaral ng education, criminology, HM, lalo na yung sa business management, eh, kailangan talaga natin yung safety. Kailangan alam natin 'yan kasi hindi puwede pagdating sa panahon na nandun na tayo, magbi-build up tayo ng, sariling negosyo tapos hindi natin alam kung ano yung health and safety 'no. So, mahirap. Or kung ikaw naman ay nagiging empleyado tapos dito ka nakatapos sa Initaw College at saka alam nila na meron kang boss 'no na, ah, napag-aralan sa iyong kurso bilang business, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. So, puwede ka nilang gawing adviser or, at the same time as safety, ah, supervisor or manager in your organization. 'Yan lang. So, ang kulang lang natin dito, pagkatapos ng kurso ninyo ay kailangan nating makakuha ng certification galing sa DOLE na yung ma-certify na kayo ay graduate din sa kurso na BOS. Puwede rin kayong mag-apply ng trabaho bilang safety officer at the future. So, all issues such as a women also 'no, mayroon ding issue dito sa occupational safety and health lalo na sa mga babae 'no, workers 'no, child labor also, and then informal sector, agriculture, in school and lifestyle disease such as AIDS and diabetes, and many others. Lalo na ngayon pandemic 'no, COVID-19. So, sino-sino yung mga, nagiging, biktima ng mga aksidente at saka yung mga sakit 'no. Sa atin marami kasi dito sa atin sa Pilipinas mga babae yung mga frontliners, yung nagtrabaho sa abroad halos din mga babae yung kasambahay 'no. Pero kung dun ka sa labas ng ating bansa, just like when I've been there in Saudi Arabia 'no, wala kang makikitang mga babae dun na mga Arabyano na babad sa trabaho 'no. Merong selected lang, pero hindi talaga masyado. At kung meron man silang trabaho, they are very protected. But here in the Philippines, yung babae natin, sila pa ang nagtatrabaho, sila pa ang nanay sa bahay, sila pa ang nagiging katulong doon sa bahay, 'no? Mahirap, mahirap. At saka yung mga bata, kahit bata pa pinapapatrabaho na. So, 'yan din, 'no, isa din 'yan sa pinagtuunan ng pansin sa ating occupational safety and health dito sa Pilipinas. Oo, ito yung sinasabi nila 'no, women are often faced with multiple burdens. They have take on the burden of the home, they perform the role of a wife and a mother. Yan yang sinasabi 'no, marami silang katungkulan 'no, wife and a mother. This may also affect her performance at the workplace, of course. Eh, kung sa bahay pa lang they are very stressful na. Tapos pagdating dun sa trabaho expected yan na mayroong, psychological effect yan sa kaniyang pagtrabaho. Lalo na 'pag, hapong-hapo siya or medyo pagod na sa bahay pagtrabaho, ah, ang expectation diyan, eh, medyo din apektahan yung production niya, yung pagtatrabaho niya lalo na 'pag mabubuntis 'no. Siya mismo, ang babae at yung kaniyang anak. Kasi kung ano yung dinadamdam ng nanay, eh, yan din yung, na maaapektuhan din yung bata. So, accordingly, there are 250 million child laborers around the world, of which 3.7 million are found in the Philippines. So, imagine 250 million child laborer around the world, but, in the Philippines 'no, mayroong 3.7 million na nakikita na child labor 'no. So, sa batas natin mayroon tayong Republic Act 7016 At ngayon bago na naman, meron tayong, 91 o 9262 'no, Violence Against Women and Children. So, child labor, hindi maaari yung 15 years old na magtatrabaho. Pero marami pa rin ngayon ang nakikita natin kasi nga, lalo na sa pamilya, 10 yung anak. Kung hindi tutulong yung mga anak sa pagtatrabaho, paano pakakainin ng mga magulang kanilang mga anak, wala namang masyadong hanapbuhay. Mangingisda lang o farmers lang tapos yung pagfa-farm naman, hindi naman sa kanila yung pag-ari yung lupain. So, kailangan talaga magtutulong-tulungan yung mga anak magtatrabaho para sa kanilang pamilya. So, 'yan, kaya dito expected talaga sa Pilipinas, marami ding mga child labor na nangyayari. Kahit ako din nung dati gano'n din nangyari. Nagtitinda ng pandesal, kangkong sa ano, merkado, 'yan. Nagtatrabaho ng construction tuwing summer, kahit, underage pa lang nung dati, nung high school pa ako, gano'n. So, employing children in these types of work greatly affects the quality of their life and in serious cases, may even cause serious disability or death. Kasi mahina pa yung mga buto, yung katawan, ano yan, makapagdulot yan ng ano, makakaapekto yan sa kanilang pag-grow, no? Iba, no? Kasi vulnerable yung ano ng bata. Kailangan niya ng mainam na tulog, yung eksaktong pagkain, yung mga masustansya. Pero kung nagtatrabaho, very stressful, mahirap yung trabaho, maapektuhan din yung pagtubo ng isang bata. Ang isa din dito yung tinatawag na use of pesticides in the farm, 'no? Yung mga farmers natin hindi alam kung ano yung epekto na nung epekto na masama na maidulot ng pesticide sa kanilang katawan, 'no? Lalo na yung nag-i-spray, gumagamit ng mga fertilizer, mga chemicals, 'no? Mga chemicals doon sa kanilang, farm. So, kailangang oriented sana yung mga farmers natin kaya hindi natin alam, marami sa ating mga Pilipino ang nagkakasakit, 'no? Sino yung mga may tatay diyan na farmers, 'di ba? Hindi natin alam, nagkasakit bigla, nagka-cancer, yung trabaho naman niya ay yung ganyan lang, pagpa-farm. Kasi nga hindi alam kung ano yung epekto na naidulot nung mga pansin sa pag-aaral ng safety and health. So, in school, 'no, akala natin wala, marami din, 'no? Students are also exposed to hazards such as chemicals and electricity, lalo na 'pag mayroon tayong mga ginagawang, sa paaralan, yung mga laboratory, works, okay. Yung electricity, 'no, hindi natin alam na nabu-burn na yung mga ano natin, mga cells, 'no? And then ito ding bullying, 'no, yung hazing, marami, 'no? Hissing, marami ding biktima ng hissing sa paaralan. Psychosocial issues are becoming more common, 'no? Many school building are also risk themselves. So, diyan maraming nangyari. Yung mga kaso natin dati, yung taekwondo na binubully yung kanyang kaklase, 'no? Ah, Pinagsisipa, tsaka marami pang mga cases diyan na nangyayari sa school. Hindi natin alam, 'yan ay kasapi din sa pag-aaral ng health and safety management. So, the OSC or the Occupational Safety and Health subscribe the principle that one life lost is one too many. Everyone must therefore be involved in the effort to contain occupational safety and health concern to enhance one's working life. After all, most of us work mainly for economic purposes. Ang sabi nga nila, ang hanap buhay ay para ikabuhay, hindi para ikakamatay. Okay? So yan, no? One life is lost in one too many. Of course, yung sinabi natin kanina, yung sa isang pamilya nagtatrabaho ay yung ama lang, pero siya lang ang pinagkukunan ng lahat ng kailangan sa pamahay. Paano kung nawala pa siya? nawawalan din ang karamihan. Kaya kailangan nating, pagtuunan ng masyadong pansin ang pag-aaral ng safety. Okay, so thank you very much for your listening and I hope that you enjoy watching these videos. You learn a lot of this subject and you could be able to uh, uh, give your comment, your concern about safety, about this subject, and you would be able also you could be able to answer also some assessment that I will be giving to you in your Facebook group. So just wait, just watch these videos, download if you can, and review all the time so that every time that I'll give you some assessment or task, you can answer it by your own understanding and on yourself in reference with our discussion. Okay, so thank you and God bless you all.